Hey, my lovely, lovely, wonderful people. A pleasant morning to everybody. So, I'm kind of looking at, I was kind of looking for what are the latest, maybe the crucial issues happening in Jamaica, the latest happenings, and so on. And I came across this post on the GIS's website or page, and it says lay magistrates urged to remain firm as custodians of fairness, and that's a word that many, unfortunately fail to practice: justice and fairness. One of the most debilitating things is an unjust human being and an unfair human being. And it says lay magistrates are encouraged to remain firm as custodians of fairness and guardians of community justice, as their progress is measured by the lived experiences of the people they serve. Making the call, newly installed president of the Lay Magistrates Association of Jamaica, LMAJ, that's Paulette Kirkland, and I'm reading the article, people, said the roles of the justices said the roles of the justices of the peace, that's the JPs, and lay magistrates are critical. They're crucial, and the effectiveness of their service is seen in the child who receives timely protection and the family that finds resolution instead of conflict. A number of the things that we face in our society, I would say no less than 80%. I mean, I don't have the statistics, but I mean, maybe them say common sense is too common, but I suppose a critical mind will tell you that poor parental structure, poor socialization, and not having a healthy mother and father both will obviously create a lot of the debilitating social upheavals that we see here in the world, not just in Jamaica. If a child is not raised and reared properly, what do you think is going to happen? Is but the grace of God to make that child come out good and keep them from certain things. She was delivering a keynote address at the half-yearly meeting of the Manchester chapter of the LMAJ held on January 22 at the Gulf View Hotel in Mandeville. And this is her speaking now. As lay magistrates, you stand at the intersection of law and community. Your decision shapes lives. Your presence strengthens institutions, and your integrity builds confidence, the president told the meeting, stressing that justice delayed is justice denied. You hear that? Justice delayed. So when you take long to deal with a matter that you should deal with expeditiously, immediately, and you drag that thing, that can cause a person's life. It can change the course of the life of that individual or that grouping of people in a tremendous way that is unbelievable. So when you have the power to enact justice, do it, because it's like doing it unto God, and He will reward you in a healthy way, in a good way. So she said, stressing that justice delayed is justice denied is not merely a phrase. She said it is a lived reality for families, victims, and communities waiting for closure. And it means acknowledging that the justice system cannot function at its best without the full engagement of every lay magistrate and every JP. It means committing to preparation and punctuality so that trial dates are honored. And yes, so it means that committing to preparation and punctuality so that trial dates are honored and communities experience timely justice. And so when we go to the district court or we go to a child diversion session where we are going to be looking at the cases before us, it is best that we prepare ourselves and be there in a timely manner. This is about efficiency and focus, ensuring that each sitting is productive and purposeful, Ms. Kirkland said. The president urged the lay magistrates to engage the clerk of courts to ensure that cases are properly brought up and to also engage the police to ensure that when they go to court, the cases are signed up and the investigating officer's report is there. That is critical, crucial, important, significant, paramount even. She also encouraged the lay magistrates to engage in continuous training and education about the justice system. That is, you have to, one has to, about the justice system, and to always display ethical leadership. Mighty God. Oh my God, how that is lacking in many instances. Ethical leadership. Not no curry favor business. Because a man down there, I'm a friend from a long time. I grew up with him. We grew up together. And they buy one biscuit for me years ago, so I have to give him back. I have to do something for him. And I'm not saying that favors cannot be granted, but ensure that when you do that, it is done ethically, lawfully, and it is done with a right spirit. You know, upholding fairness, impartiality, and integrity in every decision. That will certainly lead to stronger community engagement because they know that we are prepared. We are there on time. We are efficient and focused. We have continuous learning, and we have this thing, ethical leadership. I love that term. Ethical leadership. The president continued. I love that term. I so love that term. It's something that I realize we needed to hear. When the body lacks a particular vitamin, and when you get it, you feel every cell start work. That is what the country needs. And when I say that, I'm not speaking in terms of just politics or whatever it is. I'm speaking overall. So I don't want people to think I'm relegating this to a specific sector. No, I'm speaking overall. The event was held under the theme Measuring Progress, Renewing Commitment. Lay magistrates, who are also JPs, are trained volunteers who play a critical role in the judicial system by presiding over petty session courts, helping to clear case backlogs at the parish level, and providing community service. They are non-partisan, unpaid, and work to uphold the law while serving their communities. They're integral to the justice system, particularly in the lower tier courts, as we say, petty sessions, where at least 2 justices of the peace or JPs are required to constitute a court. So it requires 2 JPs. They also sign documents and support community development. The LMAJ is a non-profit organization for JPs and lay magistrates focused on promoting justice, community service, and social harmony in Jamaica through mediation, dispute resolution, and child diversion programs, working to uphold ethical standards and support communities. And I would want to borrow the words of the president of the Lay Magistrates Association. Ethical leadership. Ethical leadership. Would you consider yourself an ethical leader, an integrous leader, filled with integrity? And it's not about perfection, because oftentimes when we speak this way, we assume that people can't make mistakes. No, it's like I can liken on to this. When I say somebody is wicked, is somebody who practices to do evil, they intentionally, they conjure up doing it, and they practice it consistently if it is not daily. As opposed to a man slip and do something that was wicked and not right, and him say, boy, and he takes accountability, he takes responsibility, he becomes answerable, and then decides to become a better human being. So you'll fall sometimes, but it's a practicing of the wrong where the problem lies. Ethical leadership is lacking across sectors, families, business places, workplaces, and so on. But I pray you'll be an ethical leader today. Anyway, guys, you know what to do. Read TikTok and YouTube. Subscribe. Give me one of those lions.